What's up, everyone? It's Josh back with another fake Lego set review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Autumn Cabin Modular Building by ENJBRICK and doing a deep dive into it. But first off, would you qualify this as a modular building? ENJBRICK advertises it as such, but I don't know if I would qualify it as a modular building. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So this is set number 1026 by ENJBRICK. It comes with 696 pieces and retails for $23.99 on Amazon. So the set comes with three different builds. You have the main cabin, then you have the car, and you have the rocking chair. The building experience for this was actually quite nice. The instructions are really easy to follow, and the only confusing thing was the initial part where the first pieces were grayed out. I thought I was supposed to be looking for light gray pieces, and then I realized that it was pieces that I already placed, which is actually kind of nice. I appreciate that because when you're building Lego or some other fake Lego brands and you have like the red outline or no outline at all, it does get really confusing to tell if you've already placed that piece or not. When it's grayed out, you have an idea of where the new pieces are going a little more specifically. And then it used the use of the arrows to denote which studs that it was supposed to be on. So I thought that the instructions were actually really well done, and I appreciated how easy they were to follow, and they were very logical. Starting on the exterior of the build, we have this little stone pathway that leads up to the front door, and then it looks like a lantern and a recycling bin over here, as well as a lamppost to light the way to the front door. Then we have this observation deck area. This ladder gives you access to the roof. And I think this is supposed to be a telescope, so your character can do some stargazing if they want to. And then we have this printed sign, and it's crazy to me that we have Lego who can't give us printed pieces in their expensive sets, yet this is a $25 off-brand set that's giving us a cool printed piece. Just mind-blowing to me. Lego not doing nearly enough to maintain our loyalty to them. One of the bad things about this set is that it is a facade, so you just have the building cut in half. You don't have any enclosure over here. You know, it would have been nice even for just to take away these studs here and just build it up. I know it would have been more pieces and a little more expensive, but like, I know if I want to put this in a city, it's going to be annoying to have this just cut in half. So you'd have to order a second one and do like a mirror build to complete like the whole cabin. This side of the build is really lacking in detail. There's nothing over here. Just a close-up of the roof. It's really nice the way that they use these tiles and the curved pieces to create a little beam look. And they use that same style over here on this side as well. To access the interior, you can push these up, but it doesn't give you really great access to the interior. It just is used to be able to build the angle, I guess. So like if I wanted to put a figure in here, I mean, I guess you can kind of get your hands in there, but if you have thicker fingers, it's going to be a little harder to get in here to position your characters to do anything. So it's not necessarily great in terms of access unless you just literally take the roof off entirely like that. For review purposes, I'm going to leave the roof off. So in this balcony area, we have a bed for your minifigure to sleep on. It's accessed by this ladder here. You can see on this half of the bottom floor, we have the wood burning stove. You can open it up and put wood in there. There's a little fire burning in there, if you can see right there, fire. And then you have the main entrance is back here under the ladder, and the ladder accesses the upper floor. And you have like a little shelf or dresser or something in there where you can store stuff. And then over here we have like a little kitchen area or dining area. We've got a chair with a coffee mug, and then looks like some sort of drinks or spices or something. Not exactly sure what it's supposed to be. And then some more storage space here. This little arch leads into the next room. And look at that, it's another printed piece. It's just wild to me. How can Lego not give us printed pieces in these sets? Like that new set that came out, the Battle for, what is it, Pridia or something, with Grand Admiral Thrawn. They use a ton of stickers in that set. And that's just like $50. This has half its cost. And we got a printed piece. And then we have this other printed piece. Like, how? How is that possible? Lego's just doing their best to jip us off. For comparison, here's the set with a minifigure on it. It's pretty nicely scaled. Like, I mean, this light post is a little low, but everything else seems rather appropriately scaled, which is nice. Just for your reference, this minifigure isn't included in the set. I'm just using him as an example so you guys can see what it looks like with a real official Lego minifigure and the compatibility and the scale. Where this build has some issues is just like I'm not gonna be able to fit this minifigure in this chair because it's like right up against the wall. This table is like I could slide him under the table, I guess, but not easily. So he can't really sit in this chair. You'd have to move this off the wall a little bit to be able to get him in there. And even then, the way the table is shaped, it's still a little hard to get a minifigure in there. Also, if you want to get a minifigure through the door, this table's in the way. He's just going to walk right into it. So that's really not the best design either. The front door opens, blocking the minifigure's entrance to the house, so he can't get into the rest of the house. So that's not great either. I mean, I guess he could technically walk past it and then close it if he was like wanted to, but you know, not great engineering. Once he is in, he can't really get through the ladder to get to the entrance. So he's double blocked. Even if he got through that first door, he can't get over to this side because the ladder's in the way. And then there's just not a ton of room for navigation. You know, like he's going to be pressed tight up against the stove if he's trying to open it. This drawer is not going to open because of this ladder. So the spacing just isn't great. The only real spacing that he has is in this dining room area. He does fit on the bed with the roof open, but if you close the roof, he's getting crushed. And the roof doesn't even fully close when he's on the bed. So again, not a great design function. If you wanted to add the autumn cabin into your Lego city, you can do so, but it is 22 bricks wide and then 16 bricks long. So you're not going to be able to just easily mills plate it. And for comparison here, I'll slide this 16 by 16 plate under. So you see it is 16 bricks long minus this little cutout here, but it does have a 6 brick overhang, which isn't a huge deal because you could take this building off of these plates and put it onto the 16 by 16 plate and then mills plate it. But yeah, you have to modify it a little bit just to get it to fit into the city. But then again, you might not want to do that because you just have a facade here. So unless it's like at the rear of your city or just at an angle where no one's going to see that exposed back, then you can throw it in there. But you might not want to if that's not how your city's set up. Or like I said, you could buy 2 of them, mirror build them, and then extend it because it is a really nice looking cabin. Moving on to the 2 side builds, you have the rocking chair first. And the rocking chair is pretty bare bones in terms of design. Lots of exposed studs. Not a huge fan of this. Like, it would have just taken 20 more cents to add 2 tiles to cover this, you know? Instead of leaving these studs open. And this looks like half-baked and unfinished. Not the biggest fan of that. The minifigure does sit in the chair pretty well. And it does rock, which is cool. The second of the side builds is definitely my favorite. It's the pickup truck. It gives me like an old, like 1980 Chevy Silverado type vibes. It's got these like metallic pieces for the trim and just the red color. I don't know, something about it just is like really iconic looking. You can remove the cab's roof to try and put a minifigure in. So he slots in there pretty nicely. And then the cab roof does fit on top with the figure in it. The truck is a little fragile. It's construction. Like these headlight bricks, they fall off pretty easily, which is unfortunate. And if you're trying to put a minifigure in with the truck on the ground, like it's better to pick it up and push the minifigure in from this angle, because if you push it down while it's planted, this part falls off in the front. My final thoughts on this set, they're a little mixed. I really like this set because of its displayability purposes. Like if I just put this on my shelf like this, the cabin, the truck, not the rocking chair because the rocking chair sucks, but if I just put the cabin and the truck on my display shelf, I think it's going to look really good. The truck is really well done. I love how the truck looks, and the cabin is really well done too in terms of the exterior with the non-facade side at least. So if I just put this on my display shelf like right there, you're not going to be able to see the facade and it's not going to be a big deal. But if I wanted to display this in a Lego city, it's not going to be the best building because it does have that facade and you're going to be able to see into the back of it. And that's not really what you want in your Lego city. At least that's not what I would want in my Lego city. You could still display it, again, if it's from an angle that people aren't going to be able to see the back from, or if you buy 2 of them and make a mirror build and then you have 1 full cabin, that will look really awesome. What brings it down for me though is the interior of the set. Although it's really nicely detailed, like you have like the shelves, the bed, the wood burning stove is really nicely designed, but it doesn't have the spacing. If you wanted to pose figures or if you're a kid and you wanted to play with the set, you're just completely lacking that ability because of how the set's designed, how crammed it is. You don't have any maneuverability inside of the set or any real opportunity to do any cool photography with it because of how crammed it is. So that's why it's a mixed bag for me, because the exterior of the set's really well done, the interior not as much. And the piece quality is good. Like, I think they might use Go bricks. I can't really tell. It's hard to tell with the knockoff bricks without any like branding on them. Like Lego, you have the Lego brand on the brick. So I can't really tell, but it's good solid brick quality. All the pieces connected well. There's no pieces that are super loose other than this telescope. That's very loose, but like everything else, like the brick quality is there. So you have the brick quality, you have the exterior design, but it's just the interior design that's lacking for me. So like if I was giving it a letter grade, I'd probably give it like a B or a B minus, just because that interior really does take away from the set, because you have to see it, you have to use it since it's a facade, but you really can't because of how the construction and the engineering is, where you can't really get your figures in there well. It also would have been really nice for this set to come with at least one minifigure. I'm not sure what the deal is with a lot of the off brands not putting or including figures in their sets. Granted, Lego does have a strong monopoly on the minifigure side of things. All the off-brand minifigures, while are competent, they just do pale in comparison to Lego, maybe like 80% of the quality of Lego, whereas Go bricks and some of these other alternative bricks are like 95% of the quality of Lego. So that could be a reason, just not wanting to detract from the quality of the set because of poor quality of minifigure. But it would have been nice to have at least one minifigure included in the set. I know some alternative brands like Mega do include figures in their sets, so I'm not sure why some do, why some don't. I did read something about like some legality issues for some of the brands. So if you have any insight into why some do, some don't, I'd love to hear. Leave a comment in the comments below. Despite the flaws of this set, like the crammed interior and the lack of playable features, I think that at the price point, this is still an amazing deal. At $23.99 plus whatever discount Amazon's offering at the time, I really don't think you can beat it. It looks really nice, and at this price point, I definitely recommend buying it. And to wrap up, this is advertised as a modular building. I, after my review, would not classify it as a modular building, so interested to hear what you guys think about that. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, I appreciate your support. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment, and I'll catch you guys next week.